So today I want to ask you, who has a hold of your heart? Whose hands have you placed your heart in? And before we get to that, I want to ask you a question. Let's say you're going in for heart surgery. So basically, you're getting ready to give a doctor, he or she, your heart, right? You're having heart surgery. You're putting your heart in their hands. And as you're going in, you meet with the doctor. And as you're talking to him, you just don't feel. There's some red flags, man. I mean, there's just some things he's talking about, cheating on final exams. He barely got through the state boards, whatever it might be. And so you're having all these red. Would there be a chance in hell that you would continue through on that surgery, that you would give that person your heart? You would put your heart in their hands? I can already answer that for you, because I would say absolutely not, right? But when we go into relationships while we're dating, or maybe we are already in a relationship and we've handed people our heart, or we're thinking about handing people our heart, these red flags start waving like crazy, don't they? And yet we still choose to hand them our heart. Why in the world would we do that? It's amazing, isn't it? I mean, if we think about our heart, literally, we're never going to hand it to someone who's just going to, fumble around with it, maybe be good to you, maybe not. But when we go into a relationship, we ignore red flags and we hand our hearts to people, quite frankly, we know should not have it. Or we get in relationships and we stay in relationships where we're allowing people to hold on to our hearts that don't deserve it. But let's turn that around a little bit. Who has handed you their heart? Whose heart do you have in your hands? Or who maybe is at this moment, you can tell they're offering you their heart? Do you deserve that heart? If you have that heart in your hands, do you cherish that? Do you take it seriously? Are you committed to that person? Those are things that I've had to learn over the last 3 years of dating. It's real easy to accept people's hearts when we don't deserve it. It's very easy to hand people our hearts and they don't deserve it. Well, let's take this to a step further, and let's take this to a spiritual level. How do you think God feels about all this if you're a believer? I believe that God is the defender of our hearts, that our hearts truly belong to Him. And that is what He cherishes us, is to have our heart. And so think of it that way. Who are you giving God's heart to? And even on a deeper level, that heart that you might be holding really belongs to God. So do you cherish it? Are you taking care of it the way you should? Just some food for thought today. I love you. Remember, do as I say, not as I've always done.